And welcome in. Happy Sunday fun day, everybody. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Nicole, what are you having?
Oh, you know me, some Tito, some orange, some cran, Mr. Nick. Tell the people why we're here.
And what I'm having?
And what you're having.
Yeah, I'm changing it up a little bit. I'm having some Stag's Leap Cabernet Artemis. A little bit from California. You know, mixing it up. It's a very special show, Nikki. We are reviewing Money in the Bank. So here's your three things. Naomi and Seth Rollins win Money in the Bank. Becky Lynch is the new Women's Intercontinental Champion. And R-Truth has returned, I guess, to the WWE. It's Sunday, June 8th, 2025. This is the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
My baby want a Birkin. She's been telling me all night long. Gasoline and groceries. The list goes on and on. This 9 to 5 ain't working. Why the hell do I work so hard? I can't worry about my problems. I can't take them when I'm gone. 1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tell him bring another round when he's ready for 2 stepping on the table, she don't need a dance floor. Alright, good lord. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near Fifth Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
And welcome back in, everybody. If you're new here, hit the old like and subscribe. If you're a regular, you know we love having you. Nikki, we're here for Money in the Bank. Before we get to that, I know you had a whole day of
I had a whole day.
Today,
It was a whole day of wrestling. And if you did not watch Worlds Collide, get on YouTube, do yourself a favor, and watch that show. It was so fun. So, again, I only probably watched what WCW was showing in the 90s of, Lucha Libre, obviously Ray and Eddie, but I don't keep up with it at all. So learning these new kids, these new people, what they can do in the ring, how quick, how fun. Mr. Iguana is I think everyone's new favorite person in the entire world. He's gonna be on WWE tomorrow. Iguana is for everybody. And even the women's match, basically they were saying that it was how I'm not going to say this, and Mike, hopefully you're here and you're going to correct me later. But basically, the two women that Stephanie and Lola were fighting, she was oh yeah, she's basically they call it strong style, it would be equated to Japanese strong style. And I was oh, I get that, and she would just hit hard, and it's just and then the Chad Gable Vikingo match was so fun, so good. Vikingo was so goddamn. And it was just seeing as much as it, again, I love all wrestling. I want to see all the things. It was so refreshing just to see, especially the first 6-man. That was just they're all shaking each other's hands. Just really a great exhibition match of just fun spots, fun things to do. I want that wrestling as well.
So yeah, it was a nice warm up, a nice tune up to get to the main event,
yes,
which was WWE Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Set from Los Angeles, California. Just a hop and a skip from our friend Mikey in California there. So, Nikki, let's get right to it because we open the show with the women's Money in the Bank, and we have a winner.
Go on, take the money and run. Go on, take the money and run. Woo-hoo-hoo. So go on, take the money and run. Oh yeah, go on, take the money and run. Woo-hoo-hoo.
take the money and run.
Naomi
My girl.
wins Women's Money in the Bank.
Girl.
I know you correctly.
Mama
This
called
was
it.
one of your big
Mama called it.
picks
I did.
that
Let's
put you to 3-1 on the night, and you finally get a championship reign here in 2025.
No,
It took you to June.
No, the other one, when I went, what was it? Elimination Chamber? Which one did I go a perfect score? It was one Elimination Chamber, or one pay-per-view. It was the early one. But I called the 2 Money in the Bank winners, so ha 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 ha. But this was a fun match. I think they loved how they started off with the 3. It was like the 3 vets, and then the 3 NXT call-ups, and then they kind of like get the noobs out of the ring, and then there's a lovely little stare down between Rhea and Alexa, because now Alexa's doing this.
Oh, don't say that name. You're gonna wait.
Bliss. Sorry for anyone thinking they're going off. But Bliss started doing this now, but I feel like that was always like a Rhea thing, so they just like waved at each other, and then it kind of took off. A lot of fun spots, a lot of spots that kind of took a little time to set up. I know they did the stereo pop rocks, code red, whatever you want to call it, and then Rhea hit the riptide, and then Alexa hit the Sister Abigail. That was supposed to be timed, it was a little off, and this took forever to set up. Like, cool when they actually did it, but you could just kind of like feel like Alexa and Naomi were just kind of like standing there.
Yeah, well, some of the when you do the simultaneous spot, they are waiting around.
I know.
And like we crap on AEW for this because like Kenny Omega does this all the time, where like he's waiting for like 20 minutes to do his moonsault off of whatever.
Yeah, whatever
stance that they're in. But yeah, like Super Led, I think it did a wonder to put over, Stephanie McCare for sure. Because again, like this. You knew the Devil's Kiss spot was coming at some point in time, and the way that they set this up, it was like, oh man, maybe she'll get the electric chair drop from Rhea, and like to put her right on par with Rhea in this first match and give them a moment together was super important in establishing her as a legitimate star that they want her to be at the next level, right? Like they skyrocketed her right through NXT. So, to me, the moment for McCare having this one-on-one, a couple of different interactions she looked as strong as anybody. She came out looking probably the strongest of anyone not winning the match. To me, and then again, to your point, I mean this to me, Nikki and I always.
Are you gonna stamp it?
Yeah, this to me. So so for those of you that are new to the show, every show Nikki and I have what we call our Big Nick energy moment of the night.
Okay.
To me, this was my Big Nick energy moment. There was a lot that could be called. I know the code red was a nice touch too, but to me, this is a very Big Nick moment. We got to rise out of the crowd, rise out of everybody.
And Booker T.
Yeah.
Somewhere
Booker T.
Somewhere Booker T is giving.
Yeah. So this was my Big Nick energy moment of the night. But again, as the match goes on.
Can I say one thing about Stephanie before you move on?
Yes.
So at the end and the post show, Big E kind of did a math equation, and basically she wrestled on SmackDown, wrestled on Worlds Collide, and then wrestled obviously in this match. So in less than 24 hours, she was basically in the ring for over 46 minutes.
Yes.
And again, like, SmackDown match was a tag team, whatever. Again, the tag match that she had at Worlds Collide was hard hitting, and then she took some bumps in this match too. It's like, girl, like, give the woman a day off. She's probably gonna wrestle tomorrow. I'm sure she's wrestling tomorrow. But like, kudos again, strapping her to the moon. I think. I don't know if you want to get into this now or later, but I think they kind of revealed on Friday why she didn't win this match. So I think she's gonna win something else. I feel like I got really close to the camera.
Well, it could be just I'm changing up.
But I think she probably, besides obviously Naomi winning, I would agree with you. I think probably MVP of the match.
Yeah. Like to me, Roxanne had A person who I think stood out as well in this match, that it looks, this is the type of environment, right? Like Roxanne, person, not that person.
I get it, babe. You like butts.
I'm a ass man.
We should have it drop.
I know. Well,
I digress.
In due time. But to me, like Roxanne, like this is the type of match that Roxanne had to like shell out for. This is the type of match she needs to be in, like triple threats, because her smaller stature, she's able to do a lot of these springboard moves, and she looked really strong. Like you said this too last night. Like Rhea makes
everybody.
Yeah.
The Rhea sells like a mad woman. And I think really put like when she was it the Riptide when she went to do the whatever move, and then Roxanne turned it into the Hurricane Rana and got her on the ladder. Like that was impressive. And it's hard because like again with the Pop Rocks, I feel like she can't always pull that off on a bigger person.
I think it's a stupid move. I think it's really dumb. She has that springboard moonsault that she does, that she did in this match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they had a picture of it. Get it. She should do that as her finisher. I think that's a cooler move.
I feel like she's got to maybe take a page out of Alexa's book. Like that was her whole thing when she first came out. Was like 5 Feet of Fury. Same with Selena. Like you're a smaller girl, woman, like wrestle to that. I feel like she tries to wrestle bigger than she is.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, like when she did it to Raquel,
like that was terrible. And then when she did it to Natty, also bad. But I feel like Natty had the wherewithal to kind of sell it differently. Like, oh, she kind of rolled me up. Oh, like it didn't hit right, but like Natty sold it to get it over. And I feel like people like Rhea and Natty can make her look good, but maybe Raquel, who's still I don't want to say green, but still obviously not a vet, still coming up. But she needs to be with like the right person to make it work. And I feel like if she maybe changes her style a little bit, or just realize you're not wrestling like 5'7", 5'8".
Right. Well, yeah, no, and she works real like again. She's like live more like if she has like Raquel, someone like Raquel, like a heavy with her, I think works really, really well too. You know, just some bodyguard type function. But ultimately, again, it comes down to Naomi winning Money in the Bank. So ultimately, to me, again, although I incorrectly picked this, I understood the logic behind it. And to me, it makes a lot of sense. You can have her carry the Money in the Bank for however long, and even if you don't feel like she's ready now or in the next month, whatever it is, you still have the built-in storyline, right? And of her and Jade and Bianca's looming like as foils for her to not cash in, and that again, you always need to have someone that kind of foils that process along the way. So I like the idea of you still have Jade looming there in the background. And
then she when she cut that promo on Miss Tippett, when she yelled at Tiffany, that like when she did have that mini program with Naomi, with Nia and Naomi, that she said to Tiffany, like every time, like every match, like I was, could have won, should have won, and then you interfered. So that's also like getting back. Like she has the history also with the champion that I like, and then also with Nia, and then obviously Bianca and Jade. That it's all kind of interwoven, and I just think why I picked her. And again, if you didn't watch the post, so Biggie getting her out of character because she basically was like crying, and she was like game face, and then she went back into heel mode. But I love their love. Just Biggie bigging her up, and after her, she's been with the company 16 years, and I feel like I said this to you this morning. I feel like she's very underrated. I think early brand split when it was like her and Natty, and obviously Becky Lynch was the first champion. Like they carried that women's division, and I think again they talked about, and I was surprised Becky brought it up, and then she brought it up herself in her conference. I was like, oh, Naomi said that, and well, Naomi left. She left me, and I was like, oh, I forgot, because I feel like it kind of gets lost that like her and Sasha did walk out, and like obviously Sasha's now Monet, and then look at the rise that she's doing in the Indies, and obviously AEW. She had a good run in TNA. She was their world champion in TNA, and I feel like came back, and it took a while, but this new edge to her is so different, and I kind of like commend her for like she needed to take that excursion sort of like, not obviously not as long as Cody, and obviously different than Cody, but sometimes you do need to leave. Like, look at Cody, look at Drew McIntyre.
You need to know your worth. And
I feel like she went out and she did like, it was like her young boy kind of thing, going out in her excursion and like coming back. And I'm like, I like her so much. I love this heel character. I think obviously this makes more sense on a heel. I am so like the woman herself, Trinity, Fatu, deserve this. And then the characters that she's played in the ring is incredible. And her gear, girl, I love this. Stupid.
Well put. Well, putting a bow on that. Let us know in the comments below. Were you happy with Naomi winning? Did you want Roxanne Perez, Bliss? Maybe Rhea Ripley, someone else?
Yeah. Also,
or maybe a seventh Chelsea Green, Steven?
I know.
Where are you
I'm
at?
sad about Chelsea, but also I just talk about like I think all the women got a great reaction when they came out, except for Julia. The crowd was quiet.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a mid-card count.
She's like, I think they thought they were getting this superstar, and she's not getting over. Her gear was cute though. But her as I don't know, her attacking Selena, helping Selena, then attacking Selena on SmackDown. I don't know, but I just want to be like, I think everyone in that match was over except for her.
Well, from someone who's not getting over to a match with pretty much everybody over, Nikki, get to it. It was the main event. We're going to put it in our mid-card because it was a very, very controversial.
Because also, side note, it's Money in the Bank. I get the 4 huge people in this match, but things when a Royal Rumble doesn't main, it kind of bothers me that a Money in the Bank did not main the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. But I digress. Go on.
So we get to the main event of Money in the Bank. Logan Paul and John Cena taking on Cody Rhodes and main event Jey Uso. Nikki, ultimately,
we were wrong.
You would have had a perfect.
I just did not see any of this happening the way it happened. I really didn't.
It did not have it on your bingo card.
It was not on my bingo card.
So, just kind of speeding through as we get to, there's a drama.
He's not along and attack that. Stop that.
And I'm going to put this right here. John Cena is not turning face right now.
No.
Heels can fight because they're both egomaniacs. I'm going to say this right now.
Yes.
So it gets to the point where Logan Paul, I guess they're arguing over who's going to get the pin, essentially. That's really what it's coming down to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this allowed, which was honestly is like kind of like, and this is what always happens in the Cody Rhodes match. I feel like there's always like an old school element to it, where it's just like this is something that would have, like, when you were in the early '90s watched wrestling, like, would have happened, where it's like these two heels are arguing, and the face that got his ass kicked the whole time crawls away to get the hot tag. Like,
oh yeah,
like it's just it's
Cody can't help himself. Son of a plumber. He needs to get that old whatever element over.
Yeah.
And it's the baby face in peril that slyly crawls away when the baddies are fighting.
And
also just time.
Seriously. But it was well done. It was just so well done. So, Nikki, you want to get to the back end of this and all the craziness? Because I know you're...
Oh, so, well, my part first?
Yeah, I mean, as the melee ensues.
So, you know, it's hard. We have this conversation basically every time we talk about Logan Paul. Him, the person, bad man. Him, the wrestler, Healy. But goddamn, can the boy wrestle? And then usually for, you know, like our big Nick energy moment, obviously Nick is team butt over here. I usually try to pick with like what made me pop. And goddamn it, his acai moonsault off the rope through the announce table. I was like, when he was like prepping for it, I was like, no, he's not. No, he's not. And then like, goddamn it, he's so good. I don't want to like him, but I do want to like him. And I always pick like what made me pop. And him hitting this move, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, and just the purest lesson, because I remember when he did the Spanish Fly with Ricochet.
Oh, that first time it was like I never not
because they're both super crazy athletes, and like the way the torque he can get on his body and the amount like how far he can jump.
Yeah.
It is just crazy, and like you see he almost overfly.
He almost yeah, and I feel like Jay was like at the end thinking he wasn't let me get to like the closest so he can hit me. I feel like he almost flew right over Jay. Like his athleticism and his talent, and it's just like, why do you have to be a shit person in real life? But like, oh my god, I was like, I started freaking out when this came out. It's so good. So it's not Logan Paul the person. It's this acai moonsault, which is so crazy. Stamp it. Oh, so good. He's just so liquid. And just like, oh god, I don't want to lick him, but I do.
It's a crazy moment. And there was a lot of great moments in the night, and for us to pick out our Big Nick energy, this seemed like the most.
Yeah, I think that's got the biggest reaction out of me. Because I'm always grabbing it, but I was like,
for sure. So in the melee that ensued, both of Logan Paul and Jey Uso are out. John Cena infamously grabbed, that's his new finishing move, is just to grab the title belt.
Yep.
And hit everybody with the title belt.
Yep.
So that's gonna happen. So he basically grabs the title belt, knocks out Cody for the umpteenth time.
I know.
And we're about to see what we think is just another.
I anticipate another fluky win. He's gonna hit the thing, and then Cena wins low.
And there's a man that shows up in a hooded sweatshirt. Who is this masked man that shows up? None other than the recently released, not released, unreleased, sort of released. Ron Killings. R-Truth returns after being not renewed, released, sort of released, unreleased. I don't know.
Did they work themselves to a shoot or shoot themselves into a work?
So that's the question. R-Truth work or shoot?
I think they shot themselves into a work. I honestly think that they were going to let him go. Because again, him being on the older side, obviously on the old side, probably being there for, what did we say, 15 years, 16 years, 20 years, whatever it was.
It's 20 now.
Probably making the money that he was. I feel like, again, I don't think this is a Triple H thing. I think this is a TK Holdings thing. And I think they're like, oh, he's older. Oh, he's making a lot of money. Girl, bye. And I think everyone just was like, no, you cannot do this. And I feel like now it's like the Daniel Bryan
2008. Thing. So what is that? 18?
I can't do math.
18 years.
No.
17. Yeah, it's hard.
Math is hard. My brain doesn't do math. So I feel like it's not a Triple H thing. It was like an above him TKO thing. It was like, he's older, he's making a lot of money, girl, bye. And then the revolt that happened. And then I think it's what they did with Daniel Bryan. They're like, oh, this was the plan all along. We were going to make that a triple threat at WrestleMania 30. We were going to put the belt on him. It's like, no, they fucking weren't. They were not. Vince McMahon was not putting that belt on Daniel Bryan until everyone freaked the fuck out.
Yeah, no, I mean.
This is like, I don't think this was the grand plan.
Yeah.
I think they were going.
Josh called it. Yeah. Listen, it's.
I don't know. It doesn't. I think they shot themselves into a work. Hi, Josh.
It's quite possible. I honestly think I agree with Josh. I think it was a work all along because he posted on his Twitter like.
So isn't Carlito at work? He did the same fucking thing.
Yeah, but Carlito, I think Carlito is going to be one of those guys that goes to AAA or it just kind of gets loaned around. Like he's got more to give on the indies than like his value.
Ron Killings does it?
I think there's more money to be made for Carlito on his own than R-Truth to return to WWE. They can still make more money with him in WWE. I think that's how they see it.
I don't think that's a strong enough argument to be like, oh, you posted it on his own Twitter. I'm like, they all do that. Okay, Sarah Logan. That's not a nail in the coffin that this was a work the whole time.
No,
Agatha all along.
I don't know. I just think again, he's a guy that you could get one last run out of him, and he's a guy who's tied his name right to a lot of the John Cena work the last couple of years, even when John Cena's not been around. So maybe this is a way to just again elevate. The purpose of John Cena's last run is again to give everyone a nostalgia trip, but also like I said with like Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins putting people in the group, like you have to elevate somebody, and I think. Even at 52, you're going to elevate R-Truth to a level that he might not have been ever in his career in WWE. In WWE, like he was a world champion in TNA, and I know he's highly regarded elsewhere, but like in WWE, he's never been a world champion. I don't know. Maybe this gives him enough juice that he could make a late career run at a main event title.
I don't know. I just don't believe that this was the grand plan all along. That we're gonna, And then also what he tweeted today, basically saying, this is for the fans. This is because of the fans. I took a screenshot and sent you his tweet. My phone's upstairs. But I don't know. It just, I don't believe that this was the grand plan. Like, we've seen it with Dan O'Brien. Like, there was something else. I was thinking of my point this morning, and I was like, Dan O'Brien, and there was the other thing. And I was like, oh, this. Well, Cody Rhodes and The Rock. Like that wasn't the plan for WrestleMania 40. He was supposed to take his thing, and then our Cody Crybabies had a meltdown. It's like the Yes Movement had a meltdown, and now whatever we're gonna have a name for this soon, I'm sure. But we want the truth. I don't know. I don't think this was the plan.
I don't know. I think it's part of a bigger plan. Hey, let's take a shot at this and see if we can get one run. Because again, why would you release it?
It's the plan now. I think I don't know who it was, some aggregator, but I don't know, was it Chris Van Fleet? I don't know. Someone posted on something that basically this was Nick Khan's plan, was to cut Truth. And then everyone freaked out. So then they, and then Triple. I don't know if do you have the thing from Triple H?
Yes, actually, I do have Triple H's comment on it, and that's actually the question: work or shoot? Triple H was asked about it in the post Money in the Bank press conference. So let's take a listen.
Mentioned the R-Truth this week has been crazy with fans. I'm sure you heard everything. I saw everything that was being said about it.
I didn't notice.
Oh. Well, in case you didn't know, I wanted to know exactly, was he actually released or leaving the company? And if so, how much did fans play a role in it? Or was there something else that made you guys decide, like, you know what, we want this guy still here?
I love the question. You enjoying the show? Whole part of the show, man.
I don't know.
All part of the show. All part of the show.
It is now. It is now. Was it? Were we a week ago? I don't think so. I don't think so. I would love to be wrong. I love if I'm getting worked. I love that 37-year-old me is getting worked by wrestling still. I would love that. I would love that. But again, my old skepticism brain is like, nah. I don't think you're that smart. Again, what we did happened with Dan O'Brien and Cody Rhodes, I'm like, I hope they're listening to us.
Well,
or even
it's a product, yeah.
I'm feeling more wrestlers freaked out.
Yeah, no, I mean it's their coworker. I get that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I say it's a work. Josh, I agree with you. He thinks it's work.
But did you think? Okay, no. But let's move on.
But we'll say, we got more to cover. So Nikki
are also the conspiracy theorists here. So
this is fair. But I'm not saying. Well, I guess maybe I am.
It's a conspiracy.
Well, what's not a conspiracy is that we have a new women's Intercontinental champion. Becky Lynch has added one to her trophy case.
Won't you open up the door?
Becky Lynch.
I just got what you said before during the thing, and I was like, oh, okay, moving on.
Wait,
I was like, oh, that's a good shot. You're like, I didn't take that photo. I'm like, sometimes I just want to smack you.
Unbelievable. Becky Lynch is our new WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, a belt she has never won, so for the first time. That's my little play.
See what you did there.
Nikki.
Girl.
The nest gets bigger for life.
It's like, I know, like, we have to go back to me at the Rumble, shitting on her. And I keep saying to you, in this run with Becky, and I do, that's why I feel like Becky is putting her over. Like, again, my whole argument on Friday was just like, Becky could put someone over. I don't believe Charlotte can. But, like, this feud has made me so more interested in Lyra. Again, girl, put the fucking wings at home. But, like, just, she took a beating from Becky. Like, early on, took a lot of it. Got from the second rope manhandle slam kicked out of that. But then I also feel
like that, and she got like 3 or 4 of these.
Yeah,
it's like there's a couple things like again, if you want to make Lyra look strong, like this definitely did that. Like again, she took at least 2 finishers, and again, it's a heel. They're not going to win easily, but I guess that is my question too. Is like, what was your thoughts on the finish? Because it was a roll up, but there is history with roll ups in their feud. So
also, I just want to backtrack before you get to the finish. This was again, I like their backlash match. This felt a little more scrappier, a little more vicious, a little more like, oh, they don't like each other. Like in the feud, it's like kind of like F you, because like when Lyra jumped off the was it the announce table or just the barricade? No, it was the announce table.
No,
it was the announce table, and she hit that, felt vicious, and then she had her in this modified ankle lock Boston Crab thing, and she had her leg up, and then her other foot was on Becky's like neck face. Like Lyra just felt so more like, I keep saying the word vicious, and I'm trying to find another word for it.
Ruthless.
Yeah, I think maybe that's her ruthless aggression. Like she just felt so more credible and just like fighting for her life, like
mature.
Scrappy. Like, yeah, but that's the thing with me always. Like I knew she was good in the ring, but I just feel like her presence in the ring, like her like fighting for her life, her like, I don't know, her aura, like the cool kids say, I don't know. But I'm just like, I'm liking her more and more through this feud. And then if you want to get to the thing, again, roll-ups are in the lore of Lyra Becky. And they are saying they don't have a great shot of it. I don't think they ever showed the shot of it, but they were saying like, oh, she had the tights.
Right.
So again, like I said on Friday, that I feel like Becky is going to win, but it's not necessarily going to be cleanly, or she's going to do something, or something happens. I thought maybe more leverage on the rope or something, but holding the tights.
Yeah, but again, like as we go back to the history, given that roll-ups are part of their feud, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I guess the question is then what's going to be next for them, because I think there's a third, right? There has to be a trilogy in this. And there's still a component of like SummerSlam's coming up in New Jersey, but SummerSlam's coming up, and we still have Becky Lynch, Bailey, who was taken out in this feud. So, like, do they run it back with Becky Lyra for a singles match again at SummerSlam at one of the nights, or do you throw Bailey into this feud as a triple threat to get another name on the card?
I feel like I'm really surprised that Bailey didn't come out. I liked what happened, like you're showing this picture. I love what happened at the end. But I'm surprised Billy didn't come out. I think I agree with you. There's going to be a third. I just think they need to maybe wait a little bit. I think because then they announced, which I kind of alluded to before, is that they're doing a King and Queen of the Ring tournament. I don't think Lyra would win, but I think you put Lyra in that, maybe she gets to the semifinals or finals, and then work your way back to Becky to take the belt off her. Again, there's so many pay-per-views and things happening because, again, you do have the Night of Champions in the end of June. Then you have Saturday Night's Main Event. Then you have Evolution. So I don't know if I necessarily want to see that run back at Evolution. And then you do have SummerSlam.
No, this feud you can't have it go to, like, it can't just throw it on Evolution for another.
Yeah, I think you. I think you need to take maybe the gas off this feud a little bit. I don't want to see the third one right away because, again, then it'd be like back to back pay-per-view. So if maybe you are going to do it at SummerSlam, then she needs to have an opponent, someone different, either at Evolution, Night of Champions, Saturday Night's Main Event, wherever you're going to shove these people. Then I'm worried if they're doing Evolution, are we not going to get a women's match on Saturday Night's Main Event?
Josh saying Bayley needs to come in this when Becky gets to be too much. Put her back down in her place, enter Bayley. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if
she's already there.
Like a little bit too much over the top. Yeah, I mean, I think too much for the feud, maybe. Like,
I don't know. I didn't love. I think the press conference. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
it's a back and forth of, do you like Becky as a heel or a face? I liked her first heel run. I don't know if I'm loving this heel run. I get putting on the belt on her. I don't know.
I think we're just waiting, not to cut you up, but I didn't think we're wasting time, or we're buying time, or maybe collecting belts until she can get next to her hubby. I really would like to see her and Seth Rollins together at some point. And I think this is a way to kind of, again, that whole gimmick of the Vision. What do they call him? The Visionary, whatever.
There's no name for the stable officially. But he just said, "This is my vision."
Yeah, Josh thinks Becky's gonna get worse. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully she can keep it rolling and turn around. I think what she's done so far has been okay. It's not great, but yeah, there's definitely room for improvement. But yeah, ultimately, I don't know. We'll see. Okay.
But briefly circling back, after like Becky made her, the whole thing was like raise your hand. She raised her hand, and then she's like, "No, you have to do all four sides." And then they did the four sides, and I was like, "Now put the belt on me." And then Lyra put the belt on her, and then Germaned her, and then hit the Nightwing. And I was like, "That's what that character needed." So, but I like that they gave her like an edge. It was like, I lost you, but also like fuck you, and then put her in the Queen of the Ring tournament. I would say bring her to the final, and then she loses to Stephanie Becker in the final. I don't know that that's how it's going to work because they're both on Raw. That's not going to work because they're both on Raw. Maybe she loses in the semifinals to Stephanie. But, like, have her one of the Fatal 4 matches, and then, like, I don't know, put her on a thing. I want them to circle back to each other, but you need someone in between.
Yeah, we shall see. So, Nikki, it brings us to the main event.
What should have been the main event?
On the evening. Men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We now have a Mr. Money in the Bank. Nikki's second favorite man.
Yes.
In all of the world.
Jackson.
Unbelievable. How dare you? The nerve. Seth Rollins is our new Mr. Money in the Bank. Nikki, Seth Rollins wins men's Money in the Bank.
My man, looking good with a briefcase once again.
Of course. First off, we'll start with the winner, and before we get into all the
There's so much to talk about in this match.
So I'll just start with just the result, and we'll go with there. What are your thoughts on Seth Rollins winning Money in the Bank?
Obviously, I called it. I love it. I love him. Again, I want him to come out. He opening Monday Night Raw, walking down, cutting a promo, having Paul Heyman holding the briefcase like he would the Ula Fala or the belt or whatever. I'm thinking again that main event is going to be main event Jey Uso and Gunther. Does he make it a triple threat match again? Also, a heel should win this. The briefcase makes more sense on a heel. Because that's when the ultimate opportunist that smart me think like, oh, the champion's down, I'm coming in and cashing in. It just makes more sense. And again, with Naomi winning, I think the winner was going to be a Raw person. And it wasn't going to be Penta as much as I think Penta MVP of this match. I think his character doesn't make sense with the briefcase.
No, him and Andrade, I think, were in this because they were going to do a lot.
Oh my God. Poor Andrade, I feel like got the worst of this match. And I don't know if it was accidental or maybe on purpose, but Chad gave Grande Americano definitely dropped the ladder on.
Josh, I got a question for you in the chat.
Okay.
How do you feel that CM Punk's going to foil your boy Seth's cash in?
Well, and I KKI, but I don't. If he's running in and cashing in, he's going to have the boys there with him, like Braun Breaker and Reed. God, their names are too similar. I think they will defend it. I think it would be Seth to take CM Punk would take the belt off Seth eventually.
It'd be interesting.
I don't think because I think with Bianca and Jade, I think Naomi's unfortunately going to be the first woman to not cash in. They're not going to have both winners not cash in. So
no, it's fair. I mean, to me, so going back to Seth Rollins, like to me, Seth Rollins winning this again. To your point, I agree with you. A heel having the Money in the Bank briefcase makes the most sense, or a face that's going to turn heel. With him with this group having it around makes the most sense because I don't think a SmackDown person having it. You're not going to have a SmackDown person have it with John Cena.
Yeah,
and that's a big component of this. You said it Monday night. Yeah, could tomorrow night? Could Seth cash this in tomorrow night and try and expedite that whole process of this storyline? Maybe, but I like the idea of him just kind of looming and there being.
I also love that too. But it also makes me worried because Jay seems to be injured. Again, watching the post show, Cody and Jay came out to sit with Rosenberg and Vic. And he basically like his arm was like in a shirt and he was holding his whatever arm. He was like holding his arm. And just he came out and sat down and was like holding his arm. And like Cody was up on the table and he was all eating and all that stuff. So I don't know if plans are going to change. Again, I think that's are they playing it up because that's what Gunther said. It was just like you're spreading yourself too thin. You're in this. You're not worried about me, and I'm going to take your belt. But also, I would love. I do want Gunther to have that belt. There's just like it's so hard because again, that's a testament to wrestling and how much we love this and how good the roster is. There's so many people that I want to have the belt. Like Gunther having the belt back, fantastic. Seth having a belt again, yes, please. Like there's so many, or like keep it on Jay. That'd be crazy. But also, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Right. No. There's a lot of options. I think with Rollins having the briefcase, it makes the most sense to me. As well. I mean, Rollins or Solo would have been the other option. I think.
I love Solo.
So, well, that is a big turning point, Nikki, in this match. Solo Sikoa. So well, go ahead.
Well, because you're going to get into the thing that happened, and I wanted to talk about his character real quick, and how I feel like the Solo we have now is what Roman Reigns wanted Solo to be a year ago. I feel like he's more comfortable on the mic. He's starting to have personality on the mic. And it's just like when they threw, because in the beginning of the match, the goodies beat up Seth Rollins and threw him out. Beat him up, and then Solo threw him out. And then he turned around and he like tried to like, he would like put his fist out. He was doing like LA Knight, and LA Knight was like, no, and he put his fist out, and they were like, no, and he was just like trying to ingratiate, and then just like everything that he was doing, he was like mocking everybody, and it was just like he was kind of like the comedic element of this match.
Yeah.
That he was like kind of making fun of everybody and trying to like team up with people and just like, oh, you finally have a personality now. Like I feel like we needed this from him a year ago, but I'm glad it's finally.
Well, I think that character, it wouldn't have made sense at that point because like after he finally got out of the original bloodline, he was an enforcer, so he's not going to be like doing.
I do miss his afro. When he had that big chicken mohawk mullet thing, I do miss that. But again, I just feel like all the little facial expressions and smarmy things that he was doing throughout the match, like when he was taunting LA Knight and then like doing the Zero Miro thing, I was just like, oh my god.
So
finally.
Yeah, no. But, Solo was the character, comedic hero of this.
Yep.
And ultimately it gets to the point where Rollins, the Vision, comes out, right?
The Vision. What?
Are we calling him the Vision?
He said, "This is my vision." I don't think it's. There's no T-shirt or Cole's not calling them the Vision.
Well, they come out regardless. Rollins' boys come out.
He starts screaming to Paul, "Bring them out! Get them out here!" And then all of a sudden they come out.
So, out come Bronson, Reed, and Braun Breaker. A lot of B's.
I know, my brain stutters every time. It's like, I want to call both of them Bronson.
They clean house, and eventually when they focus and they get to Solo, out comes Jacob and JC Mateo, a.k.a. formerly known as Jeff Cobb, who doesn't have to change his tights either.
JC?
Saving money.
Money!
And we know how we like to save money. WWE loves to save money. So, they clean house.
Oh.
Yeah. Jacob gives. They didn't get a shot. I don't have a shot of it, but a fun, unbelievable. It could have been a big Nick Energy moment of the night too. The pop-up Samoan drop that happened between Jacob Fatu and Bronson Reed was unbelievable, and it just makes it. Every time he goes out, he just does something else at PLA. You're like, he's going to be a bigger star than he is. It's like
so goddamn good.
And ultimately, just flying around the ring, taking out basically everybody. And we get set up for Solo to climb the ladder.
Yeah, he says, "I love you," and then it's like, "Go climb," and then Solo starts climbing, and then he grabs it at the last second. He's like, "Nah." And then he's holding, and then again, Solo has grown up in the past year. He's like shakes his foot, and he's like, "What is happening?" And then looks down, and he's like, "What?" I love the first. There's like a couple seconds that he was just like, "What?" Like he got his foot stuck in gum or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What's happening?" And then looks down, and then Solo says it.
Solo finally says the line that we were kind of expecting, the "I hate you, Solo." And he absolutely just tears him apart. Super kicks him, sets him up, hits him with that beautiful BB. Best moonsault ever.
It's so good. It's so good. He's so good.
And eventually gives him the spinning solo, they call it.
Yeah, which I didn't.
Through a ladder.
I didn't know it was called that. Have they always called it that? I'm sorry, there's something in my eye. But
yeah, then no, he calls it. I mean, yeah, Michael Cole's been calling it the spinning solo for a while.
Oh, okay.
But ultimately, Nikki Jacob turns face. This is a face turn. This is a face turn. Let's go. Big face.
And I just feel like this is the same because
this is one where you can do this.
Now we were waiting for this, and again on SmackDown, JC and Solo were talking, and he said he's all gas, no brains. And then they did the thing they walked away, and then Jacob turned around the corner, done Batista and Bailey, and it's like, oh, you're talking shit. I hear you talking shit.
The Io Sky.
Yeah, the Io Sky Bailey. Yeah, because it's like Io
Chips
and
in a bowl moment.
chips in a bowl.
I don't know. It might be Josh. Maybe you can call and explain that. It might be a show reference. But go on.
I don't know. But anyway, so he hears Solo talking shit. Fuck around and find out. And Solo found out. I love that they had the moment between Breaker and Reed and JC and Jacob. I do feel as much as this what needed to happen. It was fun and I loved everything about it. But it just feels like then you look at like Andrade and Penta. It's like, oh, this is supposed to be your match. It's supposed to be your big thing, and you got to lay on the side for 10 minutes for Solo and Jacob to fight. So it took me out of it for like a little bit. Again, I loved what happened. I absolutely loved what happened. I love Jacob. I love that this is going to be a thing. But it kind of, again, as a Money in the Bank, kind of took it away a little bit. So again, I
think the storyline, you need to have craziness and anarchy and like interarching storylines, interwoven storylines in this match. So you had the only thing I was actually quite surprised with is when they came out, like the one other layer to this that I would add, because there's really no one else that could get involved. Why wasn't American Made involved? Because they're El Grande Americanos.
Because they're not the same person.
Yeah, but aren't they friendly with El Grande Americano, so they would help him?
Yeah,
no. So, like, I thought maybe
he was
was
like, he was like, put this in the ring for Grande. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I don't know. Are they portraying Americana? No, because the steel plate thing. I don't know.
Like to me, that like I thought that like when you look at everyone in this group, like I don't know that the LWO would help out Penta or Andrade.
No, they're not together.
Right, and like I don't think they've
and they all
anything.
wrestled at Collide.
And LA Knight's got no friends, basically.
Yeah.
So
he's lucky.
Yeah.
Alistair didn't come out in fucking black mask.
Yeah. So to me, everyone in this, the only other person we could have said was like Josh talked about earlier before, like CM Punk could have came out. And I thought that was why Rollins might not have won this, and him standing tall really, really at SmackDown threw me off.
Can I say one thing though? Thinking about this. We did that already last year when Drew won and then Punk made it his mission that he couldn't cash in. Are we going to do that again? Like rehash?
Yeah, no, everyone wants to screw everyone else over.
But maybe CM Punk's not in Phoenix tomorrow. I almost said tonight. I said today doesn't feel like a Sunday to me.
Right. It feels weird.
Again, like what Josh is saying, there's so many spots in this match. Like, again, Penta was so good in this match. Again, Andrade was so good in this match. I feel terrible. Like that. Oh, again, I've never not popped for a destroyer, but you saw the ladder, so good, so good, and also, which was almost my Big Nick energy moment because it just was so intimate. Like we did not see that before. So you saw early in the night, early in the match, Chad Gable put that ladder like leaning against the ring post. And then, all right, what was that going to be? And then like 20 minutes later, LA Knight is going to do the catapult thing, but then he hops up on the ladder, crawls up, gets on the other, like it's fucking mousetrap, leans on that ladder to jump.
You said that I want to play that game so badly now.
It's another. Oh, we need to buy the game for Brooklyn. I think that's another birthday because her birthday's in August. So another.
So getting broken.
But it was just like he got flung this way and went up this way and went down that way and then up this way. It's so like mousetrap to me, but it was like such a fun spot. And then fucking LA Knight comes out of nowhere, like basically Olympic slams him off the ladders.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I feel like all six of them took like
which
my God,
a very tight
such like
window
you had
to do that.
this much room. Also, not to backtrack, but like Worlds Collide, there was no room around the ring at all. Like literally, it was like, go back and watch it. But there was like no. You think this is no room? There was less room back then. But so many crazy spots.
Yeah. So, but ultimately, yeah.
The right man won. Again, having you, because again, who was the other heels in this? Americano. I don't think you're to put it. It'd be like your dual personality. Again, maybe Solo, but you had the term.
No, you have Solo and Rollins. That's it.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah, well, Andrade's the face, and I love that moment. I loved. It was Americana. No, it was Andrade and Penta when it was like, no, you go, and then Penta went to go up and he just like hit him. Like that was a fun spot. I hope this is them turning Andrade heel because he's better as a heel. Honestly, Selena should drop the belt to Chelsea again and have them back together because I loved them in NXT together. But again, I think it was a good fun match.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a good men's Money in the Bank match. I think overall it was a solid Money in the Bank in general. Like I don't think there's really anything that I would say like I was disappointed in. It was a good Money in the Bank match, like a good Money in the Bank pay-per-view PLE.
I just the only thing that I don't love Cody pitting Cena. If anything, because we both picked the baddies to win, but it was like if Cody was going to win, then I would think that Logan would take the pin. I didn't expect to get a visual of Cody pinning Cena so early.
Mm.
So that it's like, is Cody gonna win King of the Ring to get to Cena? Because again, in my brain, it's always 1-on-1. So in my brain, I want Stephanie to win Queen of the Ring again. So Naomi SmackDown won Money in the Bank. So to me, Queen of the Ring should be Raw. So then a raw man ramen noodles winning Money in the Bank, then a SmackDown guy would win to go to Cena. So do you have Cody run through everyone to get to, or do you have somebody else? Because they said your respective brands. So who on the SmackDown roster would make sense to go after Cena?
I'm not sure. I picked poorly because you are the reigning champion. So I'm a little.
No, I really did not. And that's the thing. Like I really.
You know what they say? They say
You chose poorly.
I love that movie, but like I don't know. Again, it's going to be a split between SmackDown and Raw, men, women, and I think that's how you get Stephanie Becker to SummerSlam to take the belt off Io.
that's fair. That's fair.
So I think a SmackDown man has to win. SmackDown man. So who, unless you're gonna randomly do a draft in between, is Cody the only person? I don't think you'll have like LA Knight versus.
I don't know, Nikki. We've got a few weeks to figure that out.
I
A tournament to do so. So, but before we do that, we're going to open up the phone lines. Anyone wants to chime in, let us know what you're drinking, what you're thinking, what you thought about WWE Money in the Bank, Los Angeles. Were you happy? Did you think it was a good pay-per-view, PLE, whatever you want to call it? Did you think it was mediocre, mid, as the kids like to say?
I think it's a solid B+. Like
I'd give it a B.
a B.
Solid. I give it a solid.
Fun all around.
But if you want to call and let us know what you're drinking, what you're thinking about Money in the Bank, Los Angeles, the call link's in the chat. Throw it in there. You click the link, put in your name, put in a new tab, mute your YouTube, and bring you a new tab. Let us know what your thoughts are, and we'll go from there. Nikki, you getting ready?
I'm ready.
Because as we like to do here, I'm just gotta find it.
Okay.
Nikki, I like to say, my little blondie, hit the snake. I know, it's such a good song.
It's such a good song. Get it, girl.
All right, Nikki. We got a regular on the line.
Yes.
Get him ready. He was chomping at the bit on Friday. I know. We missed it. I apologize for that. He had a briefcase he wanted to cash in, so we're going to cash it in tonight. We're going to redo it tonight. So, Nikki, he landed his spaceship.
Yes, he did.
Let's get him in here. Josh!
How goes it?
You
Go
landed
down.
safely. Very, very
I did. It was a pretty smooth landing. I've been doing it drunk lately just to try to figure out if I can.
As long as you're not crooked.
Yeah, not crooked. Success. So it was fun. Speaking of fun, this PLE was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. I am a sucker for ladder matches and just beautiful violence. I think those are amazing things in the WWE. And in our Money in the Bank, I believe
Wait, Josh,
we got all of that.
wait. Stop the presses. Hold the presses.
Yes.
Josh, the ECW
Yeah.
lover loves ladder matches. Real shocker on that.
I
That's
do.
great.
I know.
Never be surprised.
This is a shocking moment, and your show gets it. So, that's amazing in itself. Yes. Praise the clouds in the sky.
This is bigger news than the R-Truth news.
This is a chips in the bowl moment, which is from.
Explain this. You need to explain this.
Okay, so I thoroughly enjoy Tom Segura and his wife, Christina P. And they have a podcast called Your Mom's House.
Yep.
And when Christina has exciting news, like Tom getting Invisalign or Garth Brooks potentially being a murderer, it's an exciting moment. And when you're at a party, chips in a bowl are extremely exciting, especially just the sound. They've made so many commercials of chips going into a bowl, so they have a soundbite of chips going into a bowl when, yeah. So I
haven't watched them in so long. I feel like I used to watch them all the time, and I feel like the pandemic, also then when he shit on wrestling, when he cut that promo.
See, now he's coming around to wrestling, though.
Now he's that was such a thing. That was such a thing.
It was a thing, but it was also a work because he was getting to know Cody Rhodes. Him and Burt were both getting to know Cody at the time, and he was working on people by calling that shit basically wrestling shit. That's what. But he's coming around to it, so I think we should. I think we should invite him in.
Do they still do the try it out? The guy was when they had a thing, it was back, I want to say early 2020, 2019, when there was the guy was try it out. Try it out.
Yeah. Yes, they still have try it out guy because
I feel like that's when
Champagne Robert
and I feel like, oh my god.
Robert Paul Champagne.
Yes.
Try it out.
Try it out.
I used to be able to do that whole rant that guy did, but it's graphic and you are a family show, so we won't do that.
It was so gross, but it's fine. Sorry,
but
I didn't need to go down that rabbit hole.
Yes, exactly. But if you're looking for a fun time, go out and see RPC. You'll enjoy him. He's a fun guy. He invites anybody over for his content. Besides that, though, this PLE, awesome. Women's Money in the Bank, just fantastic. It really showed the evolution of women's wrestling to where we are now. And I loved it. Anybody out there shitting on this match, you're sad and things need to go better in your life. And I hope they do. But yeah, Nikki, you called that on Friday. I've been calling for this. Naomi being on top of that ladder, getting that briefcase, having her moment after so many years is just really amazing. I'm super stoked for her. I can't wait to see exactly where this goes, who she picks, what she does. Honestly, I think a fun interaction would be her and Tiffy. Just because you have the sanity versus the insane right now, that mixture. And honestly, I wouldn't be upset if Tiffy retains in something like that, just because I know I know what Naomi can bring to a story and how much of a rub somebody else can get from working with her. I mean, look at Jade. Who's talking about Jade's missteps anymore or anything like that? It's like Jade's fully evolved now into a worker that you can actually start thinking about putting titles on. Maybe start getting this Queen of the Ring thing. To me seems interesting for her. But I know you guys are high on others, and I can totally understand that. Those Stephanie Valkyrie, I'm not a fan, but I do see the attraction when she's in a ring doing not that.
I see the attraction very, very much so. I see the attraction.
She would take that move out of her move set just because it makes Booker T seem like a creep anytime the move happens. But I understand the allure to her and what she brings to a match. Even Lyra, even though I make fun of her, I can see what people do about her. I totally understand the infatuation with her. But again, this match, I think it sets up a lot for Naomi in the future. Men's Money in the Bank was amazing. I love that Seth's got it, and I'm with you guys. It was either Seth or Solo, and I would have really liked to see Solo do it, just so he could get over Jacob for a little bit, and then we see even a bigger explosion out of Jacob. But Seth having it is very interesting. Because where do we go with Seth having this? Does he become extremely obnoxious in the group? Because we've seen it happen before, where when he has something that others don't, he becomes psycho Seth, and it's all about him. Which in this group, it really does seem to be all about Seth. But those guys are the future behind him.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a
so,
future.
Josh, you bring up the great point. So we touched on a little bit on Friday, and this is kind of like when you talk about like whatever you want to call it, like the if you compare them to Evolution, whoever you're comparing it to, right? The Vision, we're calling it Vision, but that's what I'm going with for now. But like when you look at the group and the dynamic of what you have, Bronson Reed being with them is so perfect because if you're going to elevate Braun Breaker to a main event player, he needs to overcome not just Seth Rollins, because I think Rollins understands if he was my heavy, he's going to be better than me. So he's going to be stronger, whatever. Like same thing with Solo with Jacob comparatively. So like you adding Bronson to this group adds another layer, a buffer between him and Rollins for at least a month. At the very least 1 month, you have to have one Bronson Reed Braun Breaker match, and this could continue this feud up to 6 months, maybe even a year longer because you have.
No, I don't. Seth needs to have the belt for like 6 months, and then have a crackling between, and then you have Breaker go through Reed, and then like if you're doing the comparison between Evolution. He's got to have the belt for a minute. It can't be a month. Like this is going to be a thing for a while. I'm sorry, Josh, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you didn't cut me off. I'm in total agreement with you. I do think it needs to be something like a 6 month run. And Nick, I like where you're going with your mind. That would be, to me, that would be too quick. And that would be meaningless for whatever Seth achieves. But if you give him a 6 month run, he gets to build up whatever persona he's going to build up before he's torn down by Breaker. I mean, as long as Breaker stays healthy, he's the next in line, in my opinion. And I think you're there too, Nick. But yes, but I love where you were going with your mind with the extra layer with Bronson Reed, because he is. I mean, think about it. Jacob has done that pop-up Samoan drop multiple times, but the fact that he did it to Bronson Reed, that's what put the icing on the cake. That's what made it that much more. And Nikki, if you've never seen Jacob on the indie circuit live, you don't know what he can do. Like this is just like a tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
And he is phenomenal. Like even on a mic, if he's by himself, he is just so captivating. There's something about him. I mean, I was part of a promotion in which, because we funded him the money and he didn't show up, we went under, but I still love the dude. I'm still buying his t-shirts. I'm still out there celebrating him because he's a special entity inside this family. And you only get one in every so often years. And right now I think it's Jacob's turn to make this family shine even more.
What's crazy to me is how much like he was thicker on the he lost a ton of weight, and then I'm like, man, like as the enforcer, like he's so thin now because he could do so much more, and he's so and it's just like no matter what this guy does, he just makes himself like situations like this, like he moves so fast, he's so fluid in the ring, liquid. Nikki likes to use that term, like the same idea, like it's just no matter who he's in there with, like if he came out by, I would have bought him coming out by himself to take out the Alliance. Or, but like I could tell they're like, no.
They're trying to get Casey in.
But and even to the same sense, like it's almost like it makes, it does like make like Jeff Cobb, JC Romero like look a little bit weaker. Because you're like, man, this is a guy who's phenomenal, who's an enforcer in a lot of ways, and he just looks.
Yeah, but then you got taken out by Breaker, which is like, again, you were clamoring for Seth winning. Who is he going to put over? At the end of the day, whether it's 6 months, 8 months, I'm hoping 6 to 8. Braun's going to be your guy. So him doing his super fucking spear, which who did he? Was it Americano? Because they came in and he hit his spear.
He hit Americano.
Yeah, and they didn't show it. The camera was a little messy when everyone came out. So I feel like there was stuff that wasn't captured.
Yeah.
But then he got the spear, bronze spear through the barricade. So I necessarily don't think it makes Cobb look shitty.
No, I just think, again, I don't know, like, he's never going to look as strong as Jacob, and because he doesn't have the ability that Jacob has. So I think similarly, and again, because he reminds me, like I said, Jeff Cobb is like Taz. He's very much like Taz in the way, like his presentation, like, and it's interesting because like now and like Josh, like I know you're obviously a huge ECW, like it's gonna be interesting to see how they present Jeff Cobb because Triple H presenting Jeff Cobb, and maybe different scenario, different time. Like if Jeff Cobb was in the Jacob Fatu role, like if he came in during that time, it'd be interesting to see how he presents him because he's a smaller guy in stature, but he's thicker and he can play the enforcer role. But again, just like Taz, like you could tell he's a tough ass guy, and like you don't want to mess with him. But how do you present that when there's guys that are 7 foot tall and 400 pounds?
Well, honestly, I think they did mess up the bloodline introduction of some of these guys because at the end of the day, JC, Jeff Cobb, he is your enforcer of the family. Fatu, he to me Jacob is like a leader of his own sect. But if you have him in your ranks, having him as an enforcer is not your best work because he's just going to collect bodies. If you have him as like your second hand man, your second in command, that type of mentality, he works even further in this. And then that way you could have had Jeff in there right now. And I see where you're saying, but until Jacob is significantly by himself, anything he does around Cobb's going to look weaker. Jacob is just one of those things that it's like putting The Rock with Spike Dudley. Spike Dudley can do a great match and everything, but no matter what, The Rock is going to outshine him. Even if The Rock just raises an eyebrow, he outshines somebody like Spike Dudley. Now, Jeff is amazing in his own world, and in this universe that they're creating around him, he's going to be a great enforcer. But you have to give it some time for Jacob to completely be out of the idea of him being anywhere near Solo as a friend or an ally, in my opinion. And I'm just a guy with a microphone. That's all I am.
You're a guy with a very big microphone.
I think that's what they're gonna run with. It was just like that. It was like Solo was Jacob's way in, and then he was severely underestimated. It was like, oh, you just thought I was like gonna be your heavy, but like, watch me shine. And then,
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
I think that's what. Obviously, he already has the belt. I want him to have that for a while.
Yeah, I do too. I like him with a title around his waist. I like people chasing him because he doesn't have to be the chaser, because in what world do you sit around and you got a room full of guys, you look up Jacob and you're like, well, I don't think he can take anybody in this room. I look at that guy and I go, we're going to the next bar, guys. I don't know. I don't want to be setting any, things off, but that guy seems kind of scary.
Yeah.
I'm moving. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Other than that, this PLE was great. It was fun. I love the introduction of Ron Killings. I think that's a fantastic feature, and I loved how so many people just bit that hook and they were like, "Pull me up, fisherman! I'm ready to get out of the ocean," and it bit hard, especially Dave Meltzer. You silly goose. All those guys out there. And it's funny because Nick, I remember putting that in your chat, and your eyes got kind of big, and those eyebrows was spiked up, and you were like, interesting.
He does have aggressive eyebrows.
Unbelievable.
I
I have
like
the people's eyebrows.
You have aggressive eyebrows.
I call them the people's eyebrows.
They are the people's eyebrows. At least one of these people.
Oh, I'll do the Dom.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. But
You
I
little chicken tender slut.
I get a drop it.
You're a rascal. But I do enjoy that he's back with this. And like on my show, we discussed, where does that put him? What variation of Ron Killings are we getting? I mean, R-Truth was a fun-loving dude, and Ron Killings just annihilated his hero with a belt right in the middle of the ring. And someone in our chat put in the fact that they think Ron Killings should be the last match for John Cena, and then I elaborated on top of that, saying that wouldn't it be interesting to have Ron Killings, R-Truth, whatever you want to call him, save us from John Cena destroying wrestling. It would be a kind of like a really full circle moment, at least for my childhood and to my adulthood.
I want them to have one more match. I don't think that's the final match. I love. It's more like, again, when he came back, I'm pretty sure it was Capital Carnage. It's not Capital Punishment.
Capital Punishment. No.
When he came out and he was fucking smoking a cigarette, I'm like, my guy. So like, he can, and I think that also, if you didn't watch the post show, I think Big E and Vic were trying to put this over. It's just like, you think that R-Truth is your fun-loving, happy-go-lucky, but Ron Killings, he'll fuck you up. And I would love to see a little hard, like when he was the NWA champion, like give me a little harder. I'm not saying like I would love to smoke a cigarette with R-Truth, maybe one day, but a little harder, a little meaner, little more edge. I want there to be one more match between them, but I don't think it'll be John Cena's final match. Because again, if you're putting I guess that's a whole other story. Is he gonna lose to Cody and put over Cody, or is there gonna be another young kid? Because fuck all with Theory. That did nothing.
No, I don't think that's a young person.
So I don't know if there's another youngin' around.
Well, I mean, you do bring up a great point there. Right now, I'm about 62% going for this R-Truth being his last match, only because I can see what they're building of him destroying wrestling, I could see somebody like Ron Killings coming in and stopping that from happening.
Mm-hmm.
In the world of let's suspend our belief.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it happening, but again, I'm 62% there. Outside of that, though, I still think, even though we don't have a lot of time with Cena, we still have a little bit of time. We have a few appearances for them to tell a story. Again, he doesn't have to be there every week. We've seen that. So this is going to be an interesting moment. I'm ready to ride this roller coaster and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Well put. Josh, before we let you go, we're going to give you your last shot and let everyone know where you're taking from it.
All right, so fans, tomorrow night we start our Monday Night Raw preview at 7 p.m. Me, Kevin Calloway, and the blue-eyed villain himself, Grunmeister. He is the sweet baby Philly boy that we love so dearly. Come join us. Come hang out with us. That's 7 p.m. every Monday. We talk about 3 subjects, and we invite you to give your opinions, and let's have a discussion. On top of that, I'm an ECW guy. Like you heard, Nick is let the cat out of the bag. But we do a show at 5 p.m. every Thursday. It's called the ECW Watch Along. It's where I take my friend House and we go back in time and we rewatch ECW TV, stuff he's never seen, stuff I may have never seen, but it's always a good time and we invite you to join us. Our big blockbuster Super Bowl WrestleMania every Sunday is our in your house party. We invite you to come and be a part of it. It's in the afternoon. Today it was at 1. Most of the times it's at 12 and sometimes it's at 12:30, but it's always around noon. So just be there, subscribe, follow us. That's where the group, who's ever involved, they want to talk wrestling. We come onto your screen and we talk wrestling.
Yeah.
Love it.
You never know who's going to chime in. I always chime in there on my Sunday. It's part of my little
Nick
Sunday
the Creeper,
routine.
he creeps along.
Yeah.
We enjoy Nick's creepiness on our channel.
The Ivy Nile discussion is coming. She
Oh.
looked phenomenal in putting over Stephanie McCare on Monday.
Where?
In that triple threat match.
In
Oh,
his brain.
Phenomenal
Yeah.
job. Phenomenal job.
In his mind.
Does he drink a lot when he watches Raw?
It takes 2 to tango.
It does take 2 to tango.
I don't know. Whatever floats your boat, baby.
Listen, I'm just saying.
He keeps trying to sell me on this product.
Ivy made Stephanie look great 2 weeks ago.
I got snake juice, venom, and juice. Do you want to buy it? That's you. You're the crazy guy in the old west trying to sell everybody your snake juice medicine.
No, I'm just the guy who.
You know what?
No. I'm just the guy
your
who's saying this.
Ordered a jalapeno burger. A chicken fried steak.
Wrong drop. Too much food. That's too much food this time.
What is happening?
He's talking about beers. He said, I had beer. 2 beer, 3 beer.
You have 2 different drops.
No, that's the same drop.
All right, regardless. Josh, I love ya.
And I love you guys. It's always great being on here.
You, sir, have maximized your 5 minutes here. So I appreciate that.
Did you hear that call back? He's working into it.
Yeah.
Nick is always working.
Josh, touche.
Sure.
Good luck filling up the spaceship. All right, as Josh flies off to another universe. Another universe. It's like, what's it? No, what's that person? Is it Miss Marvel? No.
Oh my god.
But like, there's other universes out there to see.
Yeah. Because like they're like, where were you this whole time? It's like not every planet has an Avengers.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Brie Larson, calm down.
Where's she? She part of that.
I went down a Marvel rabbit hole today, and I can't.
Nikki. So we're talking about WWE Money in the Bank 2025, and I think there's only one way that we can kick this off. The best way to talk about Money in the Bank is from someone who's there. We got someone who was there live and in person. He was also at the little appetizer of sorts.
Appetizer.
In the AAA show. So we
You
got
love
our
tea.
own correspondent. This is what it's all about. Bring our correspondents in. But he also, not only does he bring the wrestling knowledge, he brings the sex appeal to the show. Magic Mikey, bring him in.
Boys, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, live iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story.
Mikey! Oh no! He's muted. Don't you dare. I muted him.
Love isn't always on time. Oh, hold the line. Love isn't always on time. Oh.
Is he back? No, we lost him.
Face.
We see your face, but we don't hear your voice.
Baby.
Pull him out and pull him back in.
No.
Oh no! Let's
Stop breaking my heart.
be live on site. He's like Geraldo Rivera in Iraq during the war. He's just like
Of all the
so
things.
many things.
Of all the things.
These are the things. Listen, we sent him to the most dangerous area in all the land, Money in the Bank, with all those ruckus fans.
Okay. Like this.
You break kayfabe all the time. Unbelievable.
Okay.
All right, let's try it one more time. Mikey.
Okay, are we good? Can you hear me? There we go.
He did the thing. He did the thing.
What happened, guys? That was crazy.
Yeah, that don't want. So, how was it? Tell me everything.
Mikey, stop pressing buttons. What you were just unbelievable, this guy.
No, come back.
Did you mute yourself? I'm not playing this.
All right, how about now? There we go. Yes, maybe so. Yes, maybe. Am I back?
There we go.
I hear you, babe. You're
Okay.
here.
My headphones aren't working, so we're just gonna roll with it today. Alrighty. But yes, hi. So to answer your question, I had a lot of fun. Of course, as you said, Nick, I went to both events. I went to Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. So it was a very, very long day. Very, very long day, but full of fun. And yeah, I had a great time. I agree with Josh in the sense that this was a fun pay-per-view. I will add that this was a very safe pay-per-view too, because I feel that some of the choices, well, not the women's, because I feel that was long overdue for Naomi, but I feel like the men's one was a little too safe for me. Of course, I just feel bad for LA Knight because this is the third time he's in there, and unless he wins King of the Ring, I feel that we're kind of not gonna push him as a main championship anytime soon. I don't know, but
yeah,
time.
Yeah.
yeah. It's very disappointing because I felt like they went for that pop, and well, Mikey, you were there. What was so take us through, because there's a couple of things that I know Nikki and I were discussing about the live crowd in general. So first off, well, speaking on LA Knight, what was the pop like for him? Hometown hero? I don't know. You call that? Is that fair?
Yeah, hometown would be correct. If it's really his hometown, who knows? No, but in all seriousness, the funny thing is that because you have to know the area, and given where it is, because where we were located, while it was touted as Money in the Bank Los Angeles, we were really in Inglewood, California, which is outside of Los Angeles, not in Los Angeles, but I digress. Surprisingly, LA Knight got a big pop, but I feel that, again, given the area and given the makeup of at least our section, the biggest pop in that match was probably Penta. But given the fact that we were in, as what, I call it Los Angeles or Los Angeles for those of us that speak Spanish. So it was a lot of fun. I will say the funny part is that the person that got the most amount of boos was surprisingly Seth.
Not surprised.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, but like, were you like, and especially for the men's Money in the Bank match, like one of the things I thought on Friday was there might be, because like they're setting up, there 3 of the men in the match. Say what you will about Chad Gable, Grande Americano, but like 3 of the men in the match had ties somewhat to the AAA match. Like, I thought maybe there would be some sort of crossover with like AAA coming involved. Did you think something like that would have happened with like Chad Gable, or like again to continue the cross promotion?
No, I didn't think so. I think because they're still trying to figure out what a WWE version of AAA is going to look like. I feel that Worlds Collided took like the most recognizable characters in AAA and had them be a part of that event. I was happy and surprised the fact that we got a 5th match added to Money in the Bank, though it didn't go as long as it needed to, so I felt like it was kind of pointless. But hey, you get AAA on Money in the Bank, so why not? Because Octagon Jr. is pretty good. Also, the internet has a new internet darling in the form of Mr. Iguana, which is fantastic as well. That opening match at Worlds Collide was great, but I think Worlds Collide did what it needed to. It was not only did it introduce AAA to people who may or may not be used to AAA, but I also think, in hindsight, on the WWE side, when you allow your workhorse talent to just go for it, you see the results. Like Lola and Stephanie did great. You had, Dragon Lee and all of them do great. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think the 2 best that we had from the WWE side that showed up, because they don't get a chance to do anything else on the main roster, is Legado. I think was great. And I think I read the report that they're going to Triple Mania to challenge for the AAA Tag Team Championship. So that's also going to be interesting too. And then, of course, Chad is my MVP of the entire weekend. Him and Vikingo had probably the best match of the weekend and probably the best WWE match so far this year, in my opinion.
I thought that match was great. I watched that whole show. I think it's so great. Like, it just felt so, like, obviously I'm not as close as you are, and I just felt like I was captivated that whole time.
It was great. It definitely was.
It's just like, it just felt like the pay-per-view felt so different. And like, again, you being in the crowd, I was just like, I just felt like I was like so drawn in. It was nice to see, like, I think the first 6-man like hooked me, that it was just like just a sort of like exhibition match. Like, we didn't need like a story. We didn't need 100 run-ins. Like, all the handshaking, obviously Iguana, and then like Lindsay Dorado had a personality which we've never seen when he was doing lucha stuff. But it was just like, that match like hooked me. I was like, I'm so into this pay-per-view, lack of a better term, but like special event. But like that 6-man, like that was a great opener to like people like me that are not aware. And I was like, oh, I'm here for this.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, it was a great comment. I don't remember mentioning Fireball. Bret Hart.
Let's talk about that, because the amount of eye rolls and groans that myself and my section had their whole entire Money in the Bank pay-per-view, I'm just like, I feel that I'm watching Hulu with ads. This is essentially in real time. I was so annoyed. Though I will say, Grande Americano with that ladder spot was nuts to watch. I was just like, so this might be a hot take. So I like the women's Money in the Bank. I always prefer the women's Money in the Bank over the men's the last 3 years that we gotten it. Dare I say, I liked both of them. The men's match did not make me upset, because the last 2-3 years, in my opinion, the men's one had been kind of want. Yeah. But I think the men's was probably the better of the 2. I think, while I like both, I think my only biggest critique of the women's one, and it's, given the fact that we have a lot of newer players, I felt that part of the match took a little bit too long to set up some of the spots. But the payoff was great. Naomi has been doing this. I mean, she stayed in character in the post conference, but I was rooting for her. And then Big E and the rest of the internet had to remind me, since women's Money in the Bank has been in the thing, Naomi is the first African-American woman to hold Money in the Bank, which is crazy. I was like, oh, Crap, Bianca's never held it before.
Yeah.
So I think Naomi's is the right call. I think for her character, she not needs it is the term, but I think there's more things that you can do with it. I'm interested in Seth to see where it goes. I have a crazy theory on that one.
Please.
Oh, go ahead, Mikey.
So,
Like you have a tinfoil hat theory. I want to hear this because you don't.
okay. So here's the thing. So I'm not gonna lie. Seth was not on my board to win Money in the Bank. I either had Solo or LA Knight winning. And in fact, I think only one of the four of us that review the WWE for BC WrestlePod picked Seth to win, and they ended up getting the only point in that match. But here's
I need to start making picks on your show. I'd be champion.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
I'm just kidding.
Mikey, no,
Mikey, are you saying these picks wouldn't have won? You sandbagging SOB.
No, because I had a better record than you. I only missed one, and that was the men's Money in the Bank. I got everything else right.
Girl.
Mikey, I was trying to keep this PG, but you know what?
Go fuck yourself.
Love you too. No, okay. So really quickly, here is my tinfoil hat. So the whole entire time we've gotten this Seth, now that he's at this group and leading into Mania and all of that, he just utterly despises Roman Reigns, right? He hates exactly what Roman stands for, what he did, all that good stuff. So what better story trope than to become the villain yourself that you truly cannot stand in everything? So here's what I'm thinking. I think Seth is going to cash that in, but somehow I think, don't ask me how, don't ask me when, somehow I think that Seth ends up finding himself holding both championships, unifying them, and I put that in air quotes, and then literally becoming the knockoff Roman Reigns, because what Roman did when he held both of those belts and unified those two championships as well. Ooh. So Seth ends up becoming the Roman Reigns that he always hated, and he's lived long enough to see himself become the villain. And in a crazy twist, I think Roman becomes the Seth Rollins in this new story where he is the person to take down Seth for that championship, but you reverse the roles in all of this.
Oh, don't threaten me with a good time.
Well, Mike, you throw that out there because and I've said this before on this show, is if you watch the intro to WWE, the whole intro to WWE is a Marvel intro. That's what it is. Like they've turned it into the Avengers, like
Infinity.
Yeah, like whatever. So in that, and that's what the Bloodline really is. It's all the Bloodline saga is the Infinity Wars, like or whatever the next storyline is. But like.
We don't need to talk about the multiverse.
But that's basically where it's at. So like, your storyline of Seth Rollins actually becoming, the villain in this whole like the Thanos or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Honestly, then if you want to then he's more of Harvey Dent to me. That like again, you see yourself long enough to be the villain. That you're gonna be this white knight, and then something. Not acid drawn on your face, but triggers you to be the villain.
Exactly. So I think that would be, I don't want to say that's the only way I would feel about it. I'm not mad that Seth won, but I feel like it was the safest option, but it is what it is at this point. I still had a fun time with Money in the Bank. I will say only just because of what it means to me culturally. I think Worlds Collide was different because it gave all WWE audience who watched the show an introduction to AAA, all these people, all your like mainstays from, of course, like Mr. Iguana is now over with the universe. Great. But then you have like the legacy characters like El Hijo de Dr. Wagner, which is a whole big family tree in Mexico. You also have like Octagon Jr., who also has a family lineage in there. You got to see some of the women's action in AAA. Vikingo, of course, being the well-known face of AAA right now, given the fact he's champion, and he's also been popping up in other promotions over the last couple of years. I enjoyed both. Worlds Collide was where it's at, but I still gave Money in the Bank a solid B for me. I think there was a lot of fun to be had. But yeah, that was my full report. I had a great time. And hopefully I'll be able to do it again in November because Survivor Series is coming to us live from San Diego,
I
California.
know. Mikey, you are like West Coast
Man of the
correspondent.
street.
Well, that's in November, but as far as what's coming up soon, anybody in the Ontario, California area, I will be at the Dynamite 300 and Collision 100 tapings in Ontario.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Mikey, you were man all over the place. You were world traveling. Well, regional world travel.
That is my goal for this year.
Until this show takes off and we can send you on assignment to, well, whatever the next overseas show is.
I have a
Passion
list.
friend.
I have a list of things I want to do. I've pretty much hit almost all of the U.S. major promotions. GCW is left on my list. And then over the next couple of years, my goal is to get to, well, I mean, I've seen a New Japan show, but I would love to go to the Tokyo Dome, Arena Mexico, and then, of course, the Electric Ballroom in the UK for Progress as well. So my next big goal is to go international.
Can I
Listen, I'm calling it Where in the World is Mikey San Diego?
Can I ask a question though? Real
Yes.
quick. So when they were, because it was like obviously John Cena sucks. Did you really feel that the people were screaming Becky sucks? Because she said that in the press conference. Did you feel like people were like booing Becky?
I mean, at least in where I was sitting, it was half and half. You know, let's go Becky, Becky sucks, that kind of thing. A few people started chanting Becky Hogan, but it didn't really go over with the rest of the crowd. I don't know. Here's the thing. I called the Becky winning only because most 9 out of 10 times when they say if I lose, I can never challenge you for the championship again, especially in WWE, 9 out of 10 times means they're going to win it.
Yeah.
But also, even if she didn't say this is the third encounter between these two. So at some point, Becky had to win. So
Yeah. She brought it up in the press conference, and I was like, it's hard. It was hard to tell because it was like Becky, blah blah blah. So I didn't know what you felt to the crowd.
mm-hmm.
They were like anti-Becky people.
They started a little bit, but it kind of calmed down, which I was very thankful for. And I always say this on our reviews too. What Lyra lacks in certain mic and charisma skills, she always ends up bringing the crowd on her side through her wrestling because she's a phenomenal wrestler.
Agreed.
So, So my final report in all of this, I had a really fun time. This was Money in the Bank and Worlds Collide was really, really good. And you can catch us tomorrow on BC WrestlePod doing our Money in the Bank review.
Yeah, we're excited, Mikey. You might catch me. I set my notifications. Make sure you check out the BC WrestlePod and all of our friends there. Mikey, pleasure as always reporting live. We have a live report, ladies and gentlemen. Mikey.
You know.
Boys, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, be iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story.
If you saw the Netflix thing that was like Billy on the Streets, because I love Billy Eichner, but I feel like Mikey's like Mikey on the streets in California. Mikey, we love you.
California.
Mikey, California.
Mikey on the
We love you and having you on. I'm so jealous that you were there live. We haven't been to I take it back. We were just in AC seeing Collision.
I don't think
But I need I don't know.
Mikey was, by the way, Mikey was nice enough to offer us stuff. I can only download a couple of them, but this is a couple of shots from last night. Live in person, Mikey just being a rabid fan, like I saw John Cena and Ron Cena came out.
I'm just saying we've gone to more AEW. We're coming up on our 8-year anniversary. We've gone to more AEW indie shows than we've done WWE. We did an NXT. We haven't even done a WWE show.
I mean, to be honest, AEW is also more affordable.
I know. True.
I mean,
Very true.
Let's just
Are you taking
throw it out there. I mean,
I'm just saying we've been together for 8 years.
Price is wrong, bitch.
Ugh.
$300 to spend for nosebleed.
I was just talking about us being together, but
I know, but be together with you and not have to spend money on tickets. Trying to save money over here. Money. And we talk about money in the bank.
Remember,
All right, Nikki. You got one more to get to.
does he?
Say his name and he appears.
No.
Steven.
Steven!
Hola.
Que pasa?
Is that not
Or que
your?
pasa?
No, oh God, contradiction.
Oh, I could so. And by the way, I was thinking about doing that. I almost had a drop of David Arquette from.
No, I hate them immediately.
I'm gonna do
Damn.
it. All right, anyways.
What you got for me, babe?
Well, I mean, you don't go to you don't go to as many WWE shows because they have to make you go through the the income check and in order.
Right.
If they make you jump through loops, they only want. Yeah.
Steve, listen, it's Money in the Bank, and we didn't have enough money to go to Money in the Bank.
No, you would think the sponsorships would help with that.
We need more sponsors.
I'm going to put you through my Slim Jim table after I climb up my fireball ladder.
We need to get sponsors for this show, like Slim Jim, maybe like some alcohol company needs to really sponsor us. Really
And you have to buy it all through Cash App.
Not only am I a spokesperson, I am the biggest supporter. Like seriously, Stag Leap or
Tito.
yeah, Tito, like one of these needs to really get on the ball.
Anywho, there, Steve,
Anyway.
what are you thinking? What are you drinking, babe?
Yeah. I found it funny that, well, first of all, I don't know what I missed, but we're not talking about nipples here, are we?
No,
I
and
mean-
I'm not going to decode how old you are by your nips. No, thank you.
We
Thank
don't have Nips. Now, Nips wasn't part of the show rundown.
No, Nick's an ass man, so not.
I know. I'm trying to find where it was. I can't remember where what. Oh, got it.
Yeah, has a drink already been made of that?
There we go.
Oh,
No. We're an ass show. We're not.
oh, there we go. Oh, I see.
Steve, you're going to be the most highly rated segment of this show now.
Oh, well, sorry.
Yeah,
Never.
you're not sorry. Don't have to be sorry.
But I can, yeah.
So, Steve, what do you think of me drinking?
Well, I don't know what you've all said about Mr. Killings yet, but yeah, certainly didn't see that coming. And at first, yeah, I thought it was all the work. But I have a feeling how it played out, and I've been out of the loop for the last few hours, so I don't know if this came up. I mean, they cut him. They didn't renew because they felt he made too much for what he gave them, right?
Yeah.
So I have a feeling they came in at a lower price, and he took it, and the deal was accepted before he could go off and start doing indie dates. More so than it was, the fans clamoring for it, because the fans would have just found something else, and short attention span theater, really.
Well, at the end of the day, to your point, it's business, right? Like the company has way more money than any of us. So, like, if X employer offers any of us 10 times the amount that we're going to make, you have to make a business decision. So yeah, to your point, like, yeah, it might have been. So I guess to your point, like, yeah, it may have been more of a shoot that he posted that. Like, I don't know. That's the question. Like, Steve, do you think? So maybe you hinted at this already, but like, do you think it was a worked shoot in the sense that he posted that getting released, with the idea, the hope that this would happen, and then he put himself in this situation?
No, that's hoping for a lot of things to to go a certain way in a short amount of time, a really short amount of time. You could make more of a case of that if, let's say, this was going on over a month, but this was going on over a few days.
Mhm.
So there was some kind of a snap decision made, and I as much as people want to take credit for it, oh, we the fans, I think that's what they would ultimately say. You noticed that Hunter, excuse me, that Hunter really notoriously didn't answer the question. Just said, "Did you enjoy the show?" And
Enjoy the show.
which, yeah, we did. So I just have a strong feeling that Truth accepted a lower salary, or they whoever made that offer first, but they agreed to terms and just left it at that. And then they were able to do this, and they probably booked it at the last minute. I don't know what the original plan was going to be.
Right, like I think out of all the people, like I get, like you bunch it in, like of all the people that got not renewed, it wasn't released, not renewed, because him, Sarah Logan, and Carlito, he's the one who was the most over by far, and like Carlito was getting like chuckles and laughs at the same level, but like again, Carlito is also in a heel group, so like him doing that doesn't really do anything to elevate the group in one direction or the other. So it kind of furthers that whole theory. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that he's such a guy that's been at the company for so long that something like this, he's so smart to the business that it had to be a game.
Yeah.
I don't, because Steven, I don't know if I brought it up before. It was like, it feels like the Daniel Bryan thing to me when they were like, oh, like Triple H is like, oh, this is the show. Did you enjoy the show? And then him, Vince, and Triple H were like, oh, yeah, we were so going to push Daniel Bryan. He was so going to win this thing. It was going to be a triple threat match. I was like, no, it fucking wasn't. You were not banking on Daniel Bryan remotely.
No, that was serious retconning, I'm sure.
Yeah, and this feels like a retcon to me because I don't think it was a Triple H decision. I think it's the TKO, like the higher ups are like, he's older, he's making too much money, like, girl, he's gone. And then it's just like the locker room, and I think fans were like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
yeah,
Ron is so beloved by everybody. So to me, this was not a work the whole time. Like, you were going to do a thing, and again, Cody Crybabies, the Yes Movement, like, this was not like, oh, we're working you, brother. Like, brother, you're not.
Yeah. And then there's people who won't admit, out there, journalists who won't admit that they missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? They kept it from you. Whether it was a work or not, they kept it from you. And everybody was surprised.
I think they
now
themselves into a work. Steven, go on. Sorry.
No, if you really want to be technical about it, they didn't re-sign R-Truth. They signed Ron Killings.
Also, because they said, that's what Big E said. He's like, this is not R-Truth. This is Ron. This is Ron Killings. So I think this is also a different.
Exactly. It's similar to, although this didn't involve the contract and any kind of a contract ending. But when Dean Ambrose was finally disassociated from the Shield as a group, and then he had this one moment on Raw where it was said that, say goodbye, even though he kept using the name Dean Ambrose, it was basically say goodbye to Dean Ambrose, say hello to Jon Moxley.
Yeah, he's got Mox. He's got Moxley. Yeah, he's got Mox.
Yeah.
Hey,
Jackson's getting old.
Jackson really.
He's very stern about this topic.
Yeah. Well, he sees the iguana in the picture there, and he wants to play.
Oh my god.
He wants to carry it around in his jaws.
Here, Steven, you're just causing
How
problems.
is that guy is going to be on fucking WE proper in like yesterday.
They have to move on that if they haven't already with the stuffed animal merch and the t-shirts. Just jump all over that. See if you can get a side endorsement from Geico. Just anything. Or the thing that was suggested yesterday, you really want to make Dom hate it again because he's getting cheers. Have Liv serve him some iguana tendies tomorrow. Or what she calls iguana tendies.
No, him, Mick Foley, Santino Marella, all your fucking hand puppets.
Whatever Paul Ellering's doll was named.
Yeah.
Was it Frankie?
I want to
No, Rika. No,
Rocco.
Rocco. And then, like,
I was gonna say
puppet
Rocco,
Monet.
but
Like,
Rocco.
you can do so many things.
Yeah. You can have a doll battle royal.
I'm here for it. No.
So, Alexa Bliss's doll.
Lily.
Lily, yeah.
But that guy is something.
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
I just think he was so, when the three of them walked out, he crawled with honestly, a split second, I was like, if that's a real iguana. And then I was like, oh, it's not.
Steven, you got to do a lot of damage control in the chat because you're upsetting Josh with a lot of I don't know if it's iguana points, but there's a lot.
I think Steven and I and you, we all appreciate different wrestling.
I know. We're all in different areas. Steve, don't get in there. We got another regular on the line, so we're going to let you hit your last shot here. I know.
I know everybody hates him. I do too. But what a great shot that drone thing was with Logan.
Oh my God!
He was my energy moment. He was like, I don't want to like him, but fuck, he's good.
And that was probably his idea. I've never seen any of his YouTube videos, but from what I understand, he does that kind of thing with the drone cameras quite a bit. And they found a way to incorporate it into a match. And it was his idea. And, plus, he pulled out some extra moves. And, once again, it is just extremely maddening when someone you hate, you have to acknowledge they're good at what they do.
He understands cinematography more than most. And that's the one thing.
Which I, of all people, can appreciate.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's why I'm like, you know what? Thank you, Steven, for bringing that up, because I felt like that was just like, you're the perfect person to bring it. You're a movie buff. Like, cinematography is super important. And I think that, like, the way that Logan Paul, say what you will about him, his personality, X, Y, and Z, whatever you want to call the way he acts off screen or on his YouTube channel, but in the ring, he gets it. And there's an element of, like, and I said this to Josh earlier, like, it takes two to tango type deal, right? So, like, it's the same thing. Like, he understands the cinematography in wrestling, that something like that is like, again, like the drones, like every match that he has, it seems like there's always something that he's doing that's just like, I don't know, outside the norm, or just like a new element to the game that we're not familiar with,
He brings a unique perspective to the production that I think even Lee Fitting, with all his camera experience from Monday Night Football and whatnot, haven't been able to see with the small handhelds. And for that, I give Logan his flowers, because we need more unique perspectives on anything involving putting on a wrestling show, and he certainly brings that. I cannot be mad at him for that. There's plenty of other things to be mad at him for, but not this.
Well, can you imagine, like, I mean, he, like, I showed this shot, but, like, can you imagine him, like, it's basically, like, all right, this is right to, or left to right, but imagine this right to left, right? And that's basically kind of what he did with the superplex with a selfie stick. And, like, I don't know if that's super difficult, but, like, because you still, like, in taking a bump, because you're still, making yourself flat, per se, but, like, it's another element to what you're doing. It just adds and complexes the spot that you're doing. And, like, that's where I truly respect his ability, his athletic ability, because he knows exactly what he's doing and can do crazy. And, like, I don't know if you ever watched, like, he does a lot of this stuff on his YouTube channel where he shows, like, points where he's, I guess, plotting out the spot, and he's like doing it over and over, and like he like over rotates most of the time, which is like when you think about it, you're like, I fucking hate that. Like, but again, when you have like a 12-pack or whatever, you probably can do that more, like core muscles. But like, you see his athletic ability every time he does anything, or he posts anything on Facebook. Like, personality, yeah, the guy, say what you will, shithead, whatever. Like, but in the ring, he can do things that most people just wish they could do. Most wrestlers wish they could do.
Yeah, he gets the assignment. He works hard. You know, he's picked it up quickly. And yeah, he's ripped off a lot of moves, but you know, there's not too many people that haven't at this point.
Steve,
But
you want to answer any of these? You're upsetting your number one fan, Josh. No, thank you to your R-Truth take.
you figured he'd be in a better mood with the Pacers and all.
I don't know if Josh is a Pacers fan. I'm not 100% sure. I think Josh might be like a Cleveland. What's it? Cleveland Cavaliers. He might be
Oh, sorry about that then, but still.
Unbelievable. Nikki is never buying a Logan Paul t-shirt. That is not.
I can understand that. But yeah,
I
good
want
on.
your flippy dudes, but I don't want your fucking t-shirts.
Yeah, that's fine. But good on him for his contributions yesterday.
Yes, Josh is not a Pacer fan.
Yeah.
But Steve, before we let you go, what is your last?
I would like to point out. Yeah, I would like to point out that my prediction of the twist for yesterday's women's match may have been wrong, but I did pick the winner correctly based on the original lineup. I just thought the lineup had a good chance of changing, but I did say Naomi and check the tape. So 1-0.
Steve, we'll give it to you. All right, just listen. I don't need to review the tape, but I trust your judgment that you made that pick. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve. All right, Nikki. We got one more to close us out here.
Mm-hmm.
Another regular chiming in. Beat your heart, Nikki. Oh, Joe.
Hey guys, sorry we just got back from dinner from the christening, so I just wanted to hop on. I realize I'm about to close out the show, so I won't take too long. First off, Steven, yet again, you are correct. I hate to say it, but Logan Paul's athleticism. Right, Mrs. Joho? That moonsault was just, it was perfect. I've never been happier to be wrong. That R-Truth is back. Sorry, Ron Killings now. So got our justice for R-Truth. Yeah, so when that happened, we both lost our minds. So, but I've never been so happy to have predicted that match wrong. Even though John did get pinned, I don't think he was getting pinned last night. But Logan Paul still took the L, so that's still a win in my book. Yeah, Nick, to your point, you were just talking about cinematography and how difficult that is. It's very difficult to still remain in frame, still not be jittery. I hate to give him his props, but he deserves the credit where it's due, just like Steven did. Also, I wanted to point out thank you to Big E at the post show when he just went straight to emotions and talking to Naomi. That was something very special, and it's I'm glad he did that. You can see that she was getting emotional about it, and all of a sudden she had to turn the switch back on. Which doing it as often as you do, when you're in front of a camera or in front of a microphone, you get good at flipping that switch. But there's times where you gotta. It's not as difficult. It takes some time. So she did a great job, and so did he last night. Sorry, I'm jumping around. I know I'm closing out the show. What else did I wanted to talk about? R-Truth, John losing, Naomi. Does Seth need the briefcase? I don't think so. Really? He doesn't need it. If for nothing else, to make it believable for someone to take it off of John. That's it. That would be my only.
He's on Raw.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He's going to take the belt and put that on Raw, so it's different. I think what they're doing, the King of the Ring, whoever wins King of the Ring is going after John. Whoever, obviously, Seth is going after Jay Gunter.
But that's the beauty of the briefcase, right? It doesn't matter.
Instead of your brand's choosing.
Okay. All right. Fair. Yeah.
I don't think Seth is not going after Cena.
All right. So Steven thinks he's going to coffee Jay tomorrow. All right. I can see that. That's all right. Fine. After either Jay wins or loses, depending on how that match goes, he's just going to cash it in tomorrow. Okay. Fine. All right. Yeah. I can see that. That makes sense. Yeah. What else? Oh, the impromptu Dom and match that was I guess to get a AAA name on Money in the Bank was great. Yeah. Why are you drinking my tea? Sorry, Mrs. Joho's drinking my tea, so I had to remind her. We're drinking the same style of tea. She grabbed my mug. But yeah. All in all, I think that was a pretty decent PLE. Oh, Hunter at the press conference. Again, I'm jumping all over. I realize that. I'm sorry. I wouldn't admit that the fans bullied the company into making a business decision either, even though he came out and basically said, "Oh, hey, it's a work." But I also, even if it wasn't, I wouldn't admit to the world that the fans bullied the company into making a business decision. But I get it. I'm so glad R-Truth is back. Ron Killings, I'm so glad he's back. Maybe he's the one who goes after John. He's earned it, especially. So I'm going to end with this. Hey, Hunter, as the sign said behind Pat, Cole, and Wade last night, push Cross.
There is multiple.
Hashtag justice for Cross.
Hashtag push Karrion Kross.
Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, wrapping it up on a regular. Joe and Lisa. A little tag team action on the calls. You got the Believers?
The Joho Believers? No.
The Joho.
You tell us what your shipping name is.
We
have the same name, so it's just Nick Club.
New follower name. But we shall see. Steve, Crossdressers Unite. That's yeah. Right. Steven's pausing.
I don't know why.
Yeah, because Josh is not a Pacers fan. I'm catching.
We're a weird breed.
There's a weird. But it's been a fun one. Wrapping up WWE Money in the Bank. Let us know what you thought about it in the chat below. Did you like who won? Naomi, Seth Rollins?
Favorite.
Did you think John Cena and Logan Paul needed the W over Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes.
Did not expect Cena to take the pin, but here we are.
Hmm.
I'm gonna fight our dog.
Joho giving us a good PSA. Mental Awareness Month. Take care of yourselves, fellas. Yes. Well done, Joe.
Again, it's also because your boys are stubborn. Take a day, take a second to take a mental health day. I did that. I did that last Tuesday. I was like, oh, work is terrible. I need a day. Take care of yourself. Please, men, women, everything in between. Your mental health is everything. You cannot enjoy the things you enjoy like we enjoy wrestling, my husband, all the things. Take a second. Take care of yourselves. Please, please, please. Thank you, Joe, for bringing that up because men, women, everybody, take a second. Take care of yourselves. Please.
Health comes first.
Absolutely.
Health always comes first.
Absolutely. Thanks, John.
Well done, Joe. Also, what comes second? Clicking like and subscribe. Make sure you smash the old Simone spike on the like before you head out here. And subscribe if you haven't already. But Nikki will let our not so CCO Triple H take us out.
Thought we had a spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed. You know, banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
Able to do that tonight. Got another night. We got a nice streak going, Nikki. No issues, anything. Like Steven, goodbye and good night. I like that.
Steven.
But we like to take us out the way that we know how, 90s way how. You do not have to go home.
But take care of yourselves, but you can't stay here. Goodbye.